What is up, guys? This is the very last episode of the rundown. It's been a pleasure. It's been a wild ride, guys. Obviously, looking back at the way things started, the channel itself was created. I think it was like June of 2020. I just was pulling videos on my phone, just a screen recording, and then it turned into I think it was the Sunshine Tour, the LA Tour, the very first one where Mario Sunshine came out, and I did my very first rundown. It was just hey, here are the new items, here's the things that just changed in the pipes. And just everything, the very few buffs, which were like, I don't know, like 12, something like that. Now it has evolved. It's become this flagship of the channel. We've gone through Tabor and now Antilev, and we've had a lot of great support from people like Marco and now Alberto. We've had, the evolution of the sheets and everything that Larry's been doing behind the scenes. I just owe a huge thank you to it's everyone in the community, especially you, Antilev. So how are you doing, sir? How are you feeling about this being the very last rundown?
Well, I didn't really actually think about it until right now, and I was like, yeah, this is the last one, isn't it? So and like mentally, I wasn't really necessarily prepared for this, but now I'm like thinking back to like when I started doing this, when I started watching it, even further back, and it's. First of all, I would like to thank you for having me on, for putting up with me for so long, and thank you for giving me this sort of platform to engage with the community, talk about my ideas, our sort of varied approaches to the game. It's been, it's really kept a lot of the motivation and positivity towards the game for me. It motivates me to do my, analysis work, spreadsheet work, whatever. It motivates me to stay active on two accounts. So I just want to say thank you very much, and I appreciate you for giving me this platform. And it's also been a lot of fun.
Man, if this wasn't fun, I wouldn't be doing it. But I will say there's a lot of awesome people out there, in addition to Antilev and Alberto and Larry. Those are the stud fam. I mean, we really kept this going for the joy of the community. You guys deserved this. You guys deserved. And when it came to the content I created, there's people that do different stuff. Carlos does his streams, and Sammy, he's this super passionate super fan of Mario Kart and does his own thing. But for me, I was like, I just want the meta. I want it my way. I want to see images. I want to be able to look and see what's going on. And so I created the content for myself. Thankfully, there's the stud fam that also enjoyed this. So because we are streaming live, I have to give a huge shout out to those who are tuning in. So let us know in the comments if you are joining us live. I see E. Deedle. I see Oliver Cardinal. I see Johnson, Jang, Chabarita, Knapp, Ross, Iconis, Fredneck. I see the G. Siegel. I see Ed Doy, Thoko, Braden. Some good names on there. It's bittersweet to be saying goodbye to you guys, but I see Danny as well. Yeah, what an awesome fun time we had, guys. And I think it's this game has put us in a tough spot, man. Talking about the meta when there's no meta changing, it's kind of forced our hand. Who knows what could have came of this? I know just with Kart Talk episodes alone, which I didn't even launch until we had memberships, which was about I think 2.5 years ago. We got 60 episodes of Kart Talk. So I'm thinking for the rundown, we probably got pretty close to 80, maybe even 90 episodes. I have to go back and count it, but each one was unique. I mean, I've recorded the rundown from while I've been at conferences in Nebraska and North Carolina, South Carolina.
We've seen some hotel rooms.
Orlando. It's been sometimes the show must go on, but it's because of the stud fam and honestly, as much as I'd love to continue doing this, because of you guys and what you guys deserve. The game's kind of forced my hand. There's not a lot to talk about with the meta. So the buffing is probably the few of items that we'll talk about since probably when we started the rundown 3 years ago, whatever it was. But as always, we'll dip into everything and get the fun stuff. But Antilev and I already said, let's try to make it a fun episode. Let's try to have some fun with it. I see Eggsy Kart. I see King Brian and Crainbow. Hey, Puffton as well. Yes. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Let's talk about the daily spotlight shop. As always, this used to be a big deal, and really, our channels had to evolve a lot. It would be kind of fun to see like a montage, but this section was where we talked about new items. It was the section where we talked about pipes and what to pull on and strategies and what to go for. And then pipes were gone. And now new items are gone. So all we have to talk about is the Spotlight Shop. And we've made the most of it. We did. We even had little ruby colored, thanks to Puffy and others to help, and a Turtle Dude and Sam78IT to be able to have the stud logos even show up on the toolbox, which was an awesome collaboration in and of itself. But today, the way that we're wrapping up the rundown, there's not much to talk about for the Spotlight Shop. It's kind of anticlimactic. I don't even look at the Spotlight Shop anymore. With my account, that makes, that's probably pretty typical. But for a newer player, my recommendation would be forever is do not buy anything in the Spotlight Shop to get it a second or third time. There's better uses of your rubies. But if you follow some of the meta, you look at the spreadsheets, you kind of know what's going on. You can kind of see what's coming up. Feel free to use some of these resources and other great resources in the community, like Larry98 Sheets. I think he plans on continuing to do that. Take a look at that and see what resources, what items are going to be best for you to be able to invest in the rest of year 5. Who knows, maybe even the rest of year 6, whatever that looks like when we get to that bridge. But ultimately, don't worry so much about what items does Studfit endorse. I mean, really, everything you see here on the rundown, everything that you see that could be useful for your account, feel free to get it once. There's no harm in that. It's not going to come out any other way. There might be a chance where you get it at a discount. Feel free to take a look at those resources. But ultimately, stick to the meta. Don't worry so much about it. It just came out this tour. Everything will come back around over and over and over and over and over again. That's literally the purpose of the loop mode. So now that we're past that, we have buffs. I mean, that's literally where we are at this end moment of the rundown. Is no new items, no pipes, no commemorative items we've seen before. We're getting really.
I will make one point about the Spotlight Shop. Since the last tour, the anniversary items are finally in the shop. So if you missed on the Monarch Kart, on the Black Beat Asher Mark II, on the Royal Flush, or the Rainbow Bells, you can get them now in the Spotlight Shop. I mean, those are the items that are going to be the most interesting to watch going forward, anyways.
That's a great point. Also, before I mention, although this is the very last rundown, we have a very special episode for you at the end of the year on New Year's Eve day at 10 a.m. Eastern. We are releasing the awards ceremony. We just collected all of our surveys. We got about 275, which I think for where we are in the game, that was a pretty decent showing. It's pretty good quorum. There are a number of good winners in there. But we have the award ceremony. It will be at the end of the month, year, whatever you want to refer to it. But it'll be on New Year's Eve at 10 a.m. in the morning. That's a Sunday. Come join us. It'll be 10 a.m. It'll be a lot of fun. So hopefully just put that on your radar. You'll see other alerts for it. Should be a great time. All right, let's move into buffs. So when it came to this tour, there are a couple tracks that you really, really want. And there are other tracks that you may not want. And I think when it comes down to it, we still consider some of these nitro tracks like Merry Mountain. I think Merry Mountain comes back, one more time the rest of the year?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, and maybe, I didn't check if it's an ACR, but it's definitely not ranked anymore.
So, that track, it's like whatever you get for this tour, you're going to be able to enjoy that. But there's, some that will come back a number of times, like Rosaline Ice World. Although it's an older track, there's plenty of options. It'll come back multiple times throughout the year. DK passes, we didn't see quite as much in year 4, year 5. But there are other good ones. Snowland comes back a number of times. And that even not like a lot. There are other tracks that you might want, like DK Summit. But ultimately, they're all snow tracks, and that's really good right now, and maybe even next door. But then, as like Nintendo likes to do, they'd like to move around with the season. So, and so, are there any buffs that people want the most? What's the top buff?
So the ranked buffs, obviously, for this tour are the ones you want to be looking for. Other than that, there are two tracks in this tour which are not in ranked this tour, but are in ranked in future tours. And that is Snowland T, which I think is in the Princess Tour. Let me double check that. Snowland T. Yeah, that's no, that's sorry, that's I had it the wrong way around. Rosaline is Ice World R, which is in the Princess Tour. And that is 12 tours from now, so a little ways off. And then the Snowland T, which is in the so Snowland T in the Princess Tour, and then Rosaline is Ice World R in the Sunday Tour, which is the one right before the anniversary tour. So we might not even get that far. So really, I think we'd mostly be looking at Snowland T. I mean, it's nice to get a buff on Rosalina's Ice World R as well, but that ranked is a long way off in tour number 104, the Sunday Tour. So yeah, and there's not that many of them either. I think in total on those two tracks, only 10 buffs between all karts, gliders, and drivers.
Very helpful. I do hear from G. Siegel. He does say that Mary Mountain does not come back the rest of the year. So good to have that verification. What's going on? I also see Natenja out there. What's going on, Natenja? Hopefully you're doing well. A couple other comments from G. Siegel. Gold Wiggler buff has been so bad. I see Vista. Vista, the run is down. Thank you for the work and dedication. I appreciate that, sir. G. Siegel does say TK Gladiator on Mary Mountain RT is really good for the boomerang. Because it's a great boomerang track, but the other boomerang options are all old. Awesome, guys. Well, good. Let's get into those driver buffs. We have Koopa Clown Me is the only driver with 3 buffs. It gets Rosalina Ice World, DK Pass RT, and then Snowland RT. Snowland RT obviously being the ranked option in there. It's not a plus skill, but it's not a bad skill to use for Mies. I have 2 Bowser Shell Mies pretty heavily invested in, both Bowser and your favorite Dry Bowser that I've invested in pretty well, but have not gone into the Koopa Clown yet. Still working on my Nabbit, still working on some others. I went into Bronze last tour, so still getting around the horn, but Koopa Clown, because it was the last Mii suit to come out, still will probably get a couple more buffs as time goes on, but this tour obviously being a nice big highlight for him. He gets 3 tracks. Drivers with 2 buffs. Mario Black Suit does get the Snowland, which is a ranked track. But for those new to the game, he's not got a plus skill, and he's not a Mii, so it's a double whammy. I would not invest in him. Would not recommend that. Now, Wiggler Gold, 2 Mary Mountain tracks, neither one in ranked. For All Cup ranking, he could be somewhat useful. I think actually for one of the Mary Mountains, he's like really the only coin box option. I think for the other, he's got Gold Mii in there. So it's slim pickings for Gold Wiggler. Gold Mario, he does have this DK Summit RT, which is in ranked. It's actually a pretty decent track for him. There's a couple coins along the track and some other stuff going on, but I think you're pretty set with him. Ironically, I'm actually using Gold Mario on the ranked Vancouver track. I just don't have a lot of good options. I think there's King Mario on there and some others, but Gold Mario is the guy I'm using, but he was obviously buffed a couple tours ago. And then for drivers with 1 buff, we got a lot. So we just breeze through drivers with 3 buffs, 2 buffs. Drivers with 1 buff, there's, a good probably 15 or so, 15, 16. At the top of the list is Poochie, very efficient here. He walks away probably, potentially the winner here, getting Snowland RT, which is in ranked, and it's a reoccurring track. You gotta like that. So he's wrapping up here with 41 assumed tracks, 14 cities. Pretty decent. He's had a pretty good year. Toad Tourist has a pretty efficient buff, but not as reoccurring as it's a Nitro track, getting Mary Mountain RT. He's got 35 assumed tracks, 26 cities. Wow, that's a lot of cities. It's crazy to see him accumulate that like that. Luigi Gold Knight does get to Mary Mountain, which, again, Gold Wiggler gets that track as well. Donkey Kong Gladiator got that Mary Mountain RT. We kind of discussed that earlier. Great boomerang track. He's wrapping up the rundown with 26 assumed tracks, 23 cities. It's a lot of cities. We got a lot of items with cities. And then the second part of drivers with 1 buff, Pauline Cowgirl got Mary Mountain. Wiggler, very efficient buff here. This is a good one. Snowland RT to kind of go alongside what we just discussed on the last slide. And then you got a lot of me's and some plus skills, non-plus skills. I will say they're very generous with the ranked buffs. If you see on this slide, it's like kind of like Oprah's, like you get a car, you get a car. It's like Iggy me, you get a rank track. Roy me, you get a rank track. Daisy, Pink, Monty, light green, Wiggler me, Toadette me, Wendy me, Orange me. You all get a car. You all get a rank track. You gotta like that. These guys all walk away, except for, of course, my Luigi me. He does get the Snowland R. He's like the only one, he and Lemmy, sitting out in the cold, literally not getting the ranked tracks. But a lot of ranked buffs here for a lot of these guys. What's your thoughts on the drivers with the ranked buffs and non-ranked buffs? Angela.
Yeah, so the only driver that got buffed on one of those tracks I was talking about, there's a featuring, is the Blooper Me racing suit getting Snowland T in that Princess Tour later on. But other than that, yeah, I mean, basically just like a lot of these drivers, it's sort of, there's a pretty crowded field of good top shelf drivers, like Mary Mountain. There's the Santa Me suit, DK Pass, DK Summon RT rather. There's some coin box drivers. Snowland RT. There's a couple of coin box drivers there as well already. So it's not like these are the toughest tracks to cover anyways. But there's a good point. We had a lot of these tracks in the tour, in the Sunday tour right before the anniversary tour. There was all those ice tracks. I think only Snowland wasn't in it. And G. Siegel said it in the chat, actually.
He said Snowland RT only appears one more time.
Mountain were basically available for buffs for drivers that weren't anniversary tour drivers. So that's why we didn't have a ton of buffs this tour.
Yeah. 61 tracks is insane. Says Napo too. It's still not done yet. We'll see how it goes. I see also Tony out there. I see Tokyo. Hopefully you're doing well. Turtles, hopefully you're enjoying this tour. As we mentioned, this is the very last rundown, but having some fun with it. Certainly, go kicking into the New Year's tour, next tour. That's a great way to let you guys go and enjoy the new year with your family and whatever else you got going on. Cool. Karts with 4 buffs. We got 2. We got the Black B-Dasher Mark II. Did actually pretty well. Obviously, the Vanilla Lake 2R came out before the anniversary tour, which the Black B-Dasher Mark II came out. So we got access to this track. A lot of these other items already had access to that, as well as also DK Summit. So it did get the Mary Mountain RT, which is a ranked track, which is nice. And then got the Snowland R, decent track for being a 2022 track. But overall, it's they did a pretty good job of giving it some decent coverage there. Could have been worse. Could have been Monarch Kart getting 2 Rosalina Ice Worlds and a Vanilla Lake too. So of course not necessarily one I would highly recommend investing in. The Monarch Kart, that is, just due to its size, but it's got 18 assumed tracks, 15 cities. And then we have one kart getting 3 buffs. The Gold Monarch, it does get the Snowland RT, which is in ranked. Pretty nice one there. And then it got access to some of these older 2020 tracks. As for karts with 2 buffs, we do have the Gold Scupadero, got the Snowland RT, got Mary Mountain R as well. Silver Warrior Wagon. It would have been nice for this guy to have gotten some good tracks, as it kind of fits the snow theme being silver. But of course, it didn't get anything in ranked. Did get 2 Snowland tracks, R and T though. Boo Pipes got 2 Mary Mountains, both the R and the T which is in ranked. Gold Pipes got 2 tracks as well, including Mary Mountain RT, which is in ranked. And then Gold B Dasher got basically got the leftovers, Frappe Snowland and DK Summit T. Finally, karts with 1 buff, again, kind of similar to drivers, substantially more. You got the Wild Gold and Rainbow Taxi, Bright Girl, Jumbo Jetter, Silver Flower Cart, Bronze Cucumber, all getting very efficient buffs on this slide. We do have some more on the next slide. But all of them in ranked, but all of those except for Silver Flower Cart and Bronze Cucumber were Mary Mountain variations. Silver Flower Cart got the Snowland RT, as well as also Bronze Cucumber. Then you also have a number of other karts getting one buff. Some of the more notable ones is Chain Chomp Chariot getting Merry Mountain T, Yeehaw Wagon getting Snowland. You have the Desert Rose Wagon getting that Merry Mountain T, Yellow Scub Scooter getting Snowland RT, Blue Sub Scooter getting the Snowland, Gold Shield Speedster getting the Merry Mountain T. That's cool to be using there. It was it's been a while since I've been able to use it, so nice to pull it out again. Gold Wild Slugger, Merry Mountain RT and ranked. So there you go. What's your thoughts, Ansel, on all the kart buffs?
So again, like we were saying, the anniversary items picking up a lot of buffs because they had a lot more options for getting buffed this tour. Monarch Card did really well. Got the rank buff this tour. Got Rosalina's Ice World R, which is in ranked later on in looping mode. And Black Beat Asher 2 I feel like it's going to be a good ACR card. Like this is a nice card to drive. I have it at a high level on my main account. And it just feels good. Mark IIs just feel good. So the more buffs it gets, the more happy I am. I invested in it without knowing if it was going to be good or not, just because I wanted to drive it. Gold Monarch Cart, yeah, also like getting a rank buff. But again, it's a bit the size of those cards. I have the regular Monarch for double capped on my free to play account, and it's not tiny, but it's not big. It's kind of like Lightning Streamliner sized. So it's tolerable, but if you're like a whale account, I wouldn't go for it. But for free to play, it's like, I think it's super useful. It's becoming really handy on a lot of tracks. Going further, I don't know really a whole lot to talk about on the cards. I think the Monarch card, the Silver Warrior Wagon. Do we get that? The one Silver Warrior.
We got
Wagon
on the first screen. Yep.
Yeah.
It's both tracks are nice, but not ranked.
Yeah. No, but so Silver Warrior Wagon and Black Shielded Speedster both got Snowland T, which is not in ranked this tour, but is in ranked in a future tour. Those are both pretty nice cards, I think. I think Civil War Wagon is one of the top cards in the game, and Black Shielded Speedsters needed some love, so actually decent buffs there. Other than that, no, I don't think I have any more real commentary.
You heard it here, though. Snowland T in ranked in the future, so good to keep in mind. Good. Awesome. Let's get to gliders. We got at the top of the list, Royal Flush, getting this Merry Mountain RT. I will say, compared to some of the other items that got 4 buffs, not so great for the Royal Flush. It does have the SNES Vanilla Lake, another 2021 track, the DK Summit R, and then, of course, a 2020 Frappe Snowland T. So, of course, these will come back, and it's nice to have ones that are rotating in. But you have so many. I mean, some of these are using like Strawberry Donut. You're using some really common, Silver Star Shoot, some gliders that you probably already have invested in. Then gliders with 3 buffs, Gold Mario's Hat Balloon, unfortunately not in ranked, and it got some all old tracks, including a nice 2019 track. You rarely see that, but of course that's DK Pass. Some people, their favorite track in the game. I think Carlos mentioned that was one of his favorite. Gliders with 2 buffs, decent list here. I think this probably is the longest list of gliders with items that had 2 buffs, as this continues onto the next slide for a total of 7. So you got Yoshi's Cookies, got Merry Mountain RT, which is in ranked. Got the red checkered glider getting Merry Mountain T, and then the green emblem, probably the winner on this screen for gliders with 2 buffs. Got 2 Snowlands, 1 regular and 1 R. So pretty decent showing there for the green emblem, which hasn't quite hit the meta as much as as cool as it looks, as much as we were hoping. For the rest of the gliders with 2 buffs, you got the Rainbow Flappy Wings, aka Rainbow Wonderful Wings. Got the Merry Mountain T. Wavy Great Sail got the Snowland T, and then also the Snowland Regular, which is in ranked, and then also Snowland T, which will be ranked in the future. So you have to kind of say that the Wavy Great Sail might have won this buffing for the gliders. Luigi Golf Hat did get Snowland RT, and then the future Snowland T. Draco, what's going on, man? Celebrating 20 months. How's it going, sir? I also see Bardudo and I think that's it. But yeah, guys, feel free to pop in and say hello. This is the very last rundown. So, hey, if you want to get a shout out, now's your time to get it. Good. We have, I think we talked about the Luigi golf hat getting a very, very good tour as well, similar to the Wavy Great Sale. Unlike the Rainbow Bells, which just got 2 Rosalina Ice Worlds, both R and T. We got gliders with 1 buff. At the top of that list, want to guess which one, Antilev?
I don't need to guess. I already know.
Well, it's our Fuzzy Kite. Unfortunately, not in ranked, and will only be used for ACR this tour. So, but we still have to give a shout out to the Fuzzy Kite, which has grown a nice warm spot in my heart. New Year's 2023 glider to get the Merry Mountain. Both of those 2 tracks that we just mentioned for Fuzzy Kite and New Year's not in ranked. However, we do have Wonderful Diamond getting a Merry Mountain RT, a ranked track. Nabbit Parachute, Merry Mountain T, a ranked track. The Rich Get Richer, that's right. 8-Bit Super Glider got the Snowland RT in ranked. 8-Bit Block Glider getting Merry Mountain RT in ranked. 8-Bit Goomba getting Snowland RT in ranked. Smiley Flower Glider getting Merry Mountain RT, it's in ranked. Everyone's unranked except for Fuzzy Kite. And New Year's 2023, which has been an absolute terrible.
You did this on purpose, didn't you?
Of course I did. Yes, of course. Maybe that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes, my man.
But the Fuzzy Kite is so old and it's still getting buffs. I'm just happy for any buffs, you know.
Okay. All right, fair enough. It'll only be used this tour, but at least you'll be able to use it.
Oh, it'll be used next year when this tour comes back.
Well, we'll see. Do you think that they'll just loop it back around? And year 4 will be 5,
as long as
will be
it's
6.
not costing them too much money to keep the servers running. I don't see why not. People are still spending money. I'm still spending money. I'm still have a gold pass and buying some premium challenges. So
yeah,
it's not like it's going to cost them much anything except server space.
That is true. I did get one of the premium challenges. I got the $20 one for the cap tickets. Really, at this point in time in my game, getting those 2 cap tickets across the board is really all I needed. So this is the first time, though, that I haven't bought all 3 premium challenges in quite some time. So, yeah, I mean, even I'm changing some of my habits, but I still feel, Gold Pass will always be there for as long as I'm playing the game. I love to be able to support it in that way. Moving to the rest of the gliders, though, we got Glittering Glider, got Merry Mountain RT. We got Mosaic Starshoot getting Merry Mountain T. We have that Wiggler Parachute getting a future ranked track, that's Snowland T. Jelly Shoot getting a very efficient Snowland ranked track. Gotta like that. Dolphin Great Sail, Snowland R. Not in ranked, though. Mario Golf Cap got Merry Mountain T in ranked. Melon and Banana Balloons will get a future ranked track from that Snowland T. Gold Hard Hat did get the Merry Mountain T, which is in ranked. The lesser of the 2 hat balloons, but the only one that I've invested in. So I did quad cap it for this specific track. I know. Hey, it's wild times over here. I will say the glider tickets, both the level tickets and the cap tickets, I've been a little free with them. I've been a little liberal handing them out. I had something like 23. I was like, I don't even know what I'm going to spend this on. So for me, this was a nice. I'm already pot committed at this point. I already had it at 8 triples. So why not go all in on the whale balloons here? Gold 8-bit glider. Did get the Merry Mountain T, and that's it. The rest are non-ranked tracks and also a nitro track. So, Antilev, those are not just all the items that got buffed, but those are the gliders. What are your thoughts on the gliders specifically?
Yeah, so I want to give a special shout out to Green Emblem, Wavy Great Sail, and Jelly Shoot, because the Snowland.
Oh, the 3 that I've already shouted out? Thank you. Appreciate that, Antilev.
Yes. I know, but like a special shout out, just because the top shelf for gliders for Snowland N is pretty rough. There's like no real meta gliders there. So like I have the Green Emblem at level 6 in my main account, and if it weren't for that, I'd be using like a level 2 glider, just because it's kind of a rough top shelf. So those buffs are really nice for those 3 items. You also pointed out Melon Banana Bones, Wiggler Parachute getting the Snowland T, which is ranked in a future tour. And the Rainbow Bells getting Rosalina's Ice World are, even though it didn't get a ranked track this tour, that's going to be in ranked in the future as well. Other than that, yeah, no, nothing really else to mention on the glider bus. It's mostly Merry Mountains, so.
Yeah, I like it. Good guys. I see also GC said, what if they change the ranked cups next year?
Luigi Kaplan, sorry.
And choose the use the R cup. I'd love for them to change things around next year. I hope that they do. I think we all submitted feedback that they may have already made their decision for this year, but maybe pivot next year, which would be cool. I still plan on playing this game for a long period of time, so I hope that they do. All right, let's move into ranked specifically. So there are some unlocks that are really important for you to take note of. A couple this week, a couple next week. So let's talk about those. So for unlocks, this week we have obviously Merry Mountain T, Vancouver Velocity 3R, and Snowland. So for drivers, you got this Peach, Cat Peach. She has a level 6 unlock. This Gold Mario has a level 6 unlock, which again, I kind of mentioned I'm using on this track for him. And then Larry Wintertime does have this level 8 unlock for GBA Snowland. I think at this point in time, I believe I'm using Wiggler Me on this Snowland, or maybe it's Mort. No, I think it is one of the two.
Morton Me on Snowland.
Yeah, so I'm using him on this track. That's most likely going to be your best me option there.
Basically, him or Life Blue Shy Guy is what you want to be using there.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, of course, Larry is.
And then for week 2, we have DK Summit RT, we have Merry Mountain RT, and then Snowland RT. For next week, the only driver that is unlocked is the Wiggler, Gold Wiggler. At level 3, he's unlocked on DK Summit RT. So it's going to be an easy 200 action track, whether you're using Coinbox or heck, maybe even a non-plus skill at this point in time. There's plenty of actions there, but this should be pretty easy for you to get 200 actions with Gold Wiggler if you want to take him to level 3, which is a pretty easy investment. For carts, definitely probably the most unlocks here between the 3 items. For Merry Mountain T, you have 3 unlocks. This little dream egg. You also have the wild frost. Is that? Yeah, no, this is the Frost Wing. That's right.
Oh, the Frost Wing. Yeah. I know that one because I have it triple capped on my free play.
You know what? It's one of the coolest looking. I absolutely love the way it looks.
Not the most useful card.
Not the most useful.
It does look real cool.
Cool, yes. Useful, not so much. And by the way, now that we've had so many bigger carts introduced in the game since this one came out, it's kind of made some of these cars just look even teeny tiny. I drove it again. I was like, man, this thing is so small. But again, I'm using like this tour, some Mumu Off-Roader and Crawley Kart and or Gold Shield Speedster. So using some of these smaller carts is it's just quite a shock compared to what I remember from playing back in the day. For Vancouver Velocity 3R, you have the Taylor Swift, the Swift Talon, level 6 unlock. You gotta love that. And then for the Snowland, probably a tough investment. This Gold Bells, whatever it might be, level 8 unlock. That's gonna be tough to invest in. It's not necessarily hitting the meta, and it's not a big card either. So not even a consolation larger one. However, as you can see, it's unlocked twice this tour. It's also unlocked at DK Summit RT. At level 6, you also have this. What is it? This the mint serve.
Mint.
What's this soft swerve looking mint and chocolate?
Chocolate mint soft serve.
There you go. Okay, there you go. Level 6 unlock on the DK Summit RT, and then this Wiggler cart level 6 unlock on that DK Summit RT. For Merry Mountain RT, there's only one option. It's the cheer ship. So double unlock for this tour. Unlike the level 3 unlock on Merry Mountain, though, it has to take a level 6 to unlock it. And again, you're only unlocking it for this tour. Cheer ship has been okay. Teeny tiny, though. One of the smallest cards in the game.
Yeah, it's like a multiplayer card.
But if you like it, this is the tour to use it. It's obviously very festive in the way it looks. Moving forward to gliders for Merry Mountain T. We got 3 that get unlocked. You have this, the ribbon. festive ribbon, maybe something silly like that. You have the 2021 glider, and then the Galaxy.
It's an old glider too, man.
It is an old one, and I'm not a big fan of ribbons. I think they just look very plain, except for the Galaxy ribbon, which looks, because it's got the Galaxy print. Anything with Galaxy print looks awesome.
Yeah.
And
that one's called the glitter glider, by the way. This one is not called it is a ribbon. It's the first ribbon, I think.
Yeah, that's so lame, because especially since they've already kind of overdone glitering, whatever it is. Pretty lame. However, Festive is used in the next name. That is the Festive Holly unlocked for Vancouver Velocity 3R. Level 6 unlocked for that Festive Holly. Nothing unlocked for Snowland and for DK Summit RT. But for Merry Mountain RT, you have the regular Candlelight Flight, level 6 unlock. And then the Snowland RT, the gold Candlelight Flight, a level 6 unlock there. So there you go. That's what's unlocked for ranked. Everyone loves ranked. So you got to know what's going on there.
And gold Candlelight Flight, if I'm not mistaken, was a gold pass reward last tour, or it's not this tour. Yeah, maybe. Perhaps.
Nintendo asked if we get a new Mario Kart mobile game, will we see Studfit and Antilev do sequel rundowns? You never know what the future holds. I like to keep an open mind about anything, but consistent content, probably no. It might be fun to kind of go back and hang out and just chat about the game again. But the channel will be active. You can still watch these videos in the future, which hopefully will be fun looking back at like the pipe pull videos and stuff in the future. The kids will be like, what's going on? But as for consistent content, just wrapping it up, kind of starting a New Year's resolution in 2024. New year, new things to do with my time. Multiple ranked items. So there's a lot of things used multiple times. And that has to do a lot with the theme. Of course, you have like this winter theme. Every track is basically snowing or snowed in the last couple days to make it, either icy or snowy. And so you have a lot of those themes be very, very popular for this tour, both for ranked and for ACR. Now, of course, that means that they're not really helpful the rest of the year, but this is the time to use them. We've talked about this on many, many kart talks about the winter curse. I try not to invest in too many winter items. I will say, though, I went pretty bonkers into it would be fun to go back and watch that video.
What level is your ice dozer again?
Well, my ice dozer is level 8. All my dozers are level 8, by the way. I love the dozer. Dozer is probably one of my favorites, still to this day, only behind probably the Shielded Speedsters. It's like my favorite family of items. But the one thing to mention is that I went all in on I'm trying to remember the name of the pipe. It was like some kind of winter pipe, and it had the poltergeist, the ice poltergeist. Yeah. It had the ice dozer. It had probably even that the
frost special pipe, wasn't it?
It was a special pipe, and I love those special pipes. But because
we had like 3 special pipes in like a space of a few months, it was really weird.
It was. Well, I think it's because it was like wintertime, and there was one of the years where the winter period was much longer. This tour, it's like one tour, and like that's it for winter. But there was one year where maybe the previous year, but last year, they had like 3 or 4 tours where there was like really icy. It was like a icy, and then a frost, and then a snow, and then like literally back to back to back. And it was much longer time period. But anyway, I went into that pipe and got a lot of. I went back, and it helped me get a lot of these icy carts, because if you remember, I started in like Easter of 2020, so I missed the whole Ice Mario fiasco and everything. So I had 0 ice carts going into that pipe. So I went all out. I'll probably have to go back and watch that video. That would be fun to watch. As for drivers, of course, Larry Wintertime. He came out this tour last year, so he's used 3 times. 2 in level 2 just straight off the bat, and then 1 level 8 unlock. So if you already invested in them, you get to use them 3 times. Everyone else can be used twice on this list. You got Peach Happy, Luigi Vampire, Penguin Toadette, Rosalina Chef, White Tanuki Mario, King Mario, Santa Mia Racing Suit, Light Blue Shy Guy Explorer, Ludwig Me, Iggy Me, DK Gladiator, and Toad Tourist. All used 2 times straight up. Gold Mario having that level 6 unlock. We already talked about that for Vancouver. But he's used twice with that unlock. For gliders, you got the Festive Holly used 3 times thanks to that level 6 unlock. We already talked about that. All these other gliders can be used twice. The most notable, obviously, the 8-bit 1-Up Mushroom, the wonderful Diamond. We have the 8-bit Super Glider, Gold Hard Hat Balloon. These are some meta gliders I would highly recommend investing in. These are pretty good, and you'll be able to use them twice. For carts, for ranked used multiple times, a lot. In fact, this cheer ship you can use 4 times. Again, I just want to remind you, it's teeny tiny, but you can use it 4 times thanks to 2 unlocks, both at level 3 and level 6. We just talked about that. And then you can use the Holiday Speeder and Gold Jingle Bells, used 3 times thanks to, Holiday Speeder, you're used in 3 straight up, but again, you have to want to use the Holiday Speeder and drop the tickets into commemorative items, etc. And then you have the Gold Jingle Bells, thanks to a level 6 and level 8 unlock. Everything else, though, you can use 2 times. Just looking at which ones are kind of in the meta. Flowery Badwagon, Moo Moo Off-Roader, Gold Shield Speedster. Those are some of the meta ones. Swift Talon, the Taylor Swift, in there as well. So those are the big ones. Everything else is pretty solid. I mean, even some of the Strawberry Soft Swerve, Sweet Ride have been okay. Cactar had its moments. Even the Cream Bee is pretty good. The rest of year 5. Have to give a shout out to the Unicorn stud member, Nintendo, just gifted 5 stud memberships. So congratulations to the G Seagull, Tokyo DR, Thoko Thoko, and Flo. What's going on, guys? Congratulations of being the benefactor of Nintendo's generosity. It's holiday times. It's our Christmas friend, Old Saint Nintendo. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that, man. Ansel, anything you want to say about ranks so far, whether it's multiple use or unlocks? Anything stand out?
No, just I would say if you're on the fence about Santami Racing Suit, invest now. Just do it. It's very good coming up. A lot of ranked appearances. Also, is Toad Tourist. Toad Tourist got another ranked buff, and he's already the most used driver in ranked in looping mode.
Toad Not So Turtist. I like it, my man. Let's get into All Cup ranking, because on this list, we will be talking a little bit about that Santa Me. Fortunately, he's only used 9 times. I thought it would have been more, but that's kind of the concept of
this was the debut tour, and they don't start Mies with a lot of tracks. So.
Yep. Yeah, starts with what was it, 6 or 7 he probably started out with. Yeah. That was kind of the general consensus for the Me suits. Penguin Mario, 14 times. So some of us had him invested in. Oh, that's Penguin Mario. I'm sorry. Penguin Luigi is the one that we had pulled 100 times.
Mario is newer.
Yes, he is. He is newer. But Penguin Luigi, man, there's some fun times on some of the Rainbow Roads and stuff with him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He was. We don't talk about him enough. He was pretty sneaky in the meta back in the day, kind of like your Black Yoshi. Yeah. Larry Wintertime used 13 times. No surprise there. Light Blue Me Racing Suit used 12 times. Mario Santa 12. I sometimes forget we even had him. Penguin Toadette.
I actually don't have him. I have almost every driver, but I don't know Mario Santa.
That's kind of low-key awesome. Penguin Toadette used 11 times. And we have a number of them used 10 times, including Rosalina Me, Silver Me, Rosalina Aurora, and Reindeer Me. Obviously, Silver Me is one that we didn't use a lot in year 4, but I'm using him all over the place for All Cup ranking. I took him to, I think I quad capped him, and man, he's been super useful for me, but for All Cup ranking, not necessarily for ranked. Then we have a number of drivers, as I mentioned, Santa on the list that are used 9 times alongside him. Some good old school drivers, including Bowser Santa, which a lot of us love. He's got a level 6 and level 8 unlock. But you also got Wario Hiker, Rosalina Halloween, some fun ones in there too. Even Yoshi Reindeer. So fun to look back. And then for gliders, the most used is Snow Crystals. Of these 14, I'm using it 0 because it overlaps a lot with my Silver Star Shoot and a bunch of other gliders, but it is used the most. It is used 14 times. You also have the Aurora Balloons 13, Festive Holly 12, Jolly Bells 11, Penguin Wingtip 10 alongside the Candlelight Flight. Can't Light Flight probably being the most meta on this list. There was a while there where the Silver Surf Master was doing pretty well. And, of course, the Silver Star Shoot was a nominee for the Hall of Fame, as we'll talk about on the award ceremony. So, really, when you think about the meta, at the top of that list is Can't Light Flight, then Silver Star Shoot. But both of those have been really strong in these in the meta for these icy snow type of tracks. And then last but not least, for all cup ranking, these are the MVPs for karts. At the top of the list, Cream B Dasher Mark II. And then, of course, our legendary Ice Dozer. 18 guys, 18 for these top two karts. That's crazy. If I did not invest so much into the Ice Dozer, Cream B Dasher Mark II would probably be an easy investment. Again, it's very fun using these Mark IIs. Wheels are just so chunky. You gotta love it. I like as Samuel says, I like a thick back on my cart. We got Ramby Runner used 14 times. White Snow Skimmer 13 times alongside the Holiday Speeder. And then, guys, a bunch of garbage, I'll be honest with you. I'm just skimming down here because none of this is good. Yeah, like, this is all garbage.
What, you don't like the Cheermellow?
No, man. Nope. I do wonder, which is bigger, Cheermellow or Cleanup Hitter?
I think Cheermellow is the smallest card in the game, actually.
Brutal, man. Hey, Andy S was gifted by Nintendo as well. Very cool. Thanks for doing that, Nintendo. Very generous. Old Saint Nintendo. Let's get into the me coverage. One of the cool things that Raker puts out is some coverage that's split up. So you can see on the far left, you can see the Miis and the plus skill Miis that are using the track. And then as you move from left to right, you have the non-plus skill Miis. And then on the very far right, you have the non-Me plus skills. And completely forgetting the drivers you should not invest in. Those are the non-plus skill, non-Me, the leftover drivers. Those are the Black Suit Marios and others. Goodness sakes, Nintendo's on fire. Old Saint Nintendo's at it again. Congratulations to Turtles, Rose Iconis, Tony, Breeden, and Alfie Dark Deadly on receiving those memberships from Nintendo. Thank you, Nintendo. It's been an absolute pleasure, sir. You are a gentleman and a scholar. So, I think I always kind of like to point out the some of these Miis for ranked. So for week 1, you have the DK Mii suit, you have the Santa Mii suit, and the Wiggler Mii suit for Merry Mountain T. Then you have the Nabbit for Vancouver Velocity 3R. By the way, kind of a fun story. Probably not for most, but ER Curtis is in my ranked, which is kind of cool. I reached out to him. He's like, "I'll hold back." I said, "No, let's go. Let's have some fun." We have kind of, I think his ceiling is probably like 8 points higher, but we'll have some fun. But he's got the Nabbit Mii suit, and I'm left with Gold Mario, and he's gonna beat me by 10K on that track because that's how powerful. Even the Nabbit Mii, which is not one that I have invested in. It's like one of the very, very few, but he is crushing. This is his track. There are plenty of other plus skills on that track, including King Mario, as you can see on the very far right, that unlock with Gold Mario, Larry Wintertime, Volendam, Toad, Astronaut, Light Blue Shy Guy Explorer. There's a lot of plus skill non-Miis, but Nabbit still blows him out of the water. It's a great track for him. And then, of course, you got that Morton on Snowland, which is really awesome. There are not a lot of options. Only 2 non-Me plus skills. That is Larry Wintertime and Light Blue Shy Guy Explorer. And then for ranked next week, only Santa Mii and what looks to be King Boo Mii got that DK Summit. The other 2 tracks do not have plus skill Mii options. So you're going to be rolling with one of these other guys, including maybe King Mario, maybe DK Gladiator in there. It's an interesting guy. Haven't talked a lot about Kangaroo Yoshi in quite some time, but he's coming back on it. And then, of course, for Snowland RT, it's called Charging Chuck. That's going to be your guy.
When you think of Christmas and Merry Mountain, the first thing you think of is a kangaroo dinosaur.
That's it. Kangaroo dinosaur. Perfect theme match. So shout out to Raker. Thank you for doing that. These are all around the different servers, even on Reddit. So definitely check that out. Good. For sake of time, we'll just move on to what we know is the next two tours. So after this tour wraps up, this holiday tour, and what we're doing here on the Very Fast Rundown, we move into 2024 with the New Year's tour, and then the Space Tour right after that. So I do know a lot of people go for the Space Tour for All Cup ranking, trying to get their top 10 badge, top 100 badge, whatever it might be. It's a very popular one. People love the Space Tour, the Space items, the Space trophy, the ACR badge. I will say low-key sneaky is the New Year's Tour. All of the tracks in the New Year's Tour are all, I believe, RT tracks. So very
they're all RT tracks and are all twice. There's only, I think, 23 unique tracks in the tour, and they're all of them but one are repeated.
So there you go. So if you want to make just a couple investments, and it's doubled up for every investment you make, plus every track is it's one of the most easy tracks to get 200 or tours to get 200 actions, number of tracks based on the plus scale. So it could be a really, really good one. I was targeting it before. I said, you know what? I need to spend my time doing other things. So the next couple slides, though, we will be talking about what items cover these three tours the most. And so we'll start with drivers. Obviously, the one that's using the most is Larry Wintertime. Substantially the most this tour, of course. But he does even have some overlap on the next two tours, totaling 6, with Santa Me right behind him, which is very rare for me to get 5 usage over this and the next two tours. And then, of course, King Mario, Luigi Knight, Chef Rosalina, and PD Piranha used 3 times. Big drop off there between 6 and 5 and 3. But the main takeaway was what Antelov was talking about earlier. Invest in your Santa Me. Show him some love. This is the best time to invest into Santa Me. You get to use him a lot this tour and the next couple tours as well. Let's get into karts at the top of the list.
Just one point on that Santa Me. Just put more gasoline on that fire. That Baby Park RT that Santa Me is on in the next tour, that one actually comes back in a future ranked tour in the Yoshi tour. It's in ranked again, Baby Park RT. So you get 2 for the price of 1 there.
That's a good point. Tokyo called me out. He said, Studfit, you missed top 100. I see you're at 103. Yeah, I finished about 40,000 below where the mark was. I knew it when I went to bed. But here's the thing is that usually I like to grind on the Sunday before the tour ends. That's my favorite time to do All Cup ranking. But instead, I was filling out holiday cards and licking envelopes and putting stamps on envelopes. I did that all day, probably about 60 of them. So did not get to grind All Cup ranking very much at all that tour, but it was fun. I gave it a little run for my money at the very end, but I'm glad that I got to send out those holiday cards. If I had gone for All Cup ranking, got top 100 instead, there'd be a lot of people who don't have pictures up on their wall of the fam. So moving on to karts. Again, random story you didn't need to know, but whatever. I can do whatever I want. This is my last show, last show of the rundown. All right, we got Blooper Shuttle used 6 times. Of course, a lot of those are coming this the Space Tour. That is a awesome kart across the whole year, and of course, that is the tour where it is utilized the most. However, it still gets some action next tour as well. Then we got the Rainbow Taxi, kind of same sitch. We got it for this Space Tour, but it's got some action in the next couple of tours, just one less than the Blooper Shuttle. Then we have this Moo Moo Off-Roader, which I did quad cap just today. I'm pretty proud of it. Double feature for ranked this week. I was debating between this and the Blue Crawley, which I had tripled. I went Moo Moo Off-Roader, man. You got to show some love to the off-roaders. Big fan of the Moo Moo, and I get to use it 4 times, which is pretty cool. You do have a couple of the Eagles used 3 times, both the Taylor Swift and the Blazing Eagle. You also got the Purple Dozer, and we already talked about this, the Cheer Ship, which actually I feel like the Cheer Ship should be 4. Didn't we talk about it being 4 this tour alone? So it might have a little asterisk next to that. But Ansel, anything fun you want to mention about the karts? Is there a Santa Me of the karts you want to talk about?
No, not really. I mean, Moo Moo Off-Roader, but I mean, you should have that one already, invested. So, and the same thing with the Eagles. Like, they're both pretty awesome. So,
I've not invested into the Taylor Swift yet, but it's on my list.
I would say the Cheer Ship is probably less optimal to invest in.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
That's not a Santa Me of course.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. I appreciate that. Very, very nice. Good. Let's move to gliders. At the top of the list, guess which one? It's the one I just talked about, quad capping. It is used a lot next tour. Next tour being this New Year's tour with all these trick tracks. That's when it was released, and where we could have dropped 25 bucks for it. Back as like one of the very, very first premium exclusive item. And we haven't seen it back in the Spotlight shop at all since then, right? So it's like the only way to get it is through. So we'll see if they do that again. I assume that they will. But you also have the yellow hard hat, which has been much better. It came out that tour as well. It, alongside the Fuzzy Kite, the Festive Holly, the Chocolate Pretzel, and the Icy's Mario Mustache, all used 4 times. So 5 times, 4 times, or like Larry Wintertime, 6 times, that's a lot. It's a pretty substantial. I mean, you're going to be probably winning ranked a decent amount those tours that those are used. Then the next drop off, there's a lot of them used 3 times, including the wonderful Garnet, the red checkered glider, Calico toe beam balloons, the Mario and Luigi hat balloons, the bright balloons, the gold and red and gold umbrella, the red emblem, and of course the Rainbow Fair flyer. Anything you want to mention here, Antelope?
The Fuzzy Kite and the hard hats, I think at least the gold hard hat, both came out in the New Year's tour, so that's why they have a lot of rank. And you can see actually from the fact that they unlocked, that means that was their release tour.
I like it. What's going on, Matt Ulrich? He wants me to sing. He says, "It's the final rundown!" Did I nail it?
That was good.
All right, good. I tried to put some vocals in there, even though I'm sitting down. All right, let's talk about ranked usage for the rest of year 5. Let's. So again, we came out right after the anniversary, and we said these are all the items that are used for year 5. And then every tour we see, we eliminate those items and remove them from the list. So everything you're going to see here, these are going to be the ranked usage from now until the end of the anniversary, which is like next September. So it'll be the next 9 months of ranked. So these are ones, if you're only focused on ranked, you're not going for top 10 like Draco. Wishing you the best, Draco. Good luck on your top 10. I didn't even realize that until the chat. So we're going to make sure everyone knows that I'm rooting for you. But we have the ranked usage for the rest of year 5. Let's get into drivers. The driver that's going to be used the most the rest of year 5 will be Toad Tourist, not Turdist. It is used 28 times, and he still has 11 tracks to see. Now, some of the number of tracks left to see aren't a big deal. 11's fine. It's probably he might get to 30 if he's lucky, but probably 28 is probably a safe assumption. Light Blue Shy Guy Explorer, 25 times, 3 tracks to see, but this Wiggler Mii-suit, he's got 20 tracks in ranked for the rest of year 5. And he's still got 38 tracks left to see, which as you can see is the most on this list, only behind or tied with Wiggler, Yaleen, and Spartacon not too far behind with 33. So those are really the most notable. Everyone else is pretty uneventful. You can't really count too much. Like Poochie's got 8 tracks left to see. The chance of those would be in ranked pretty small. But you'll see here for Wiggler Mii, that's the number 1 Mii suit used in ranked rest of year 5. That's pretty crazy, and he's still got some tracks up to see. So I have not invested. I've only triple uncapped my Wiggler Mii. Maybe he's next. Maybe he's my next quad cap. We'll see how things go. We have Toad Astronaut and also Poochie used 19 times in ranked over the rest of year 5. We have Larry Wintertime and Gold Mii Suit and Santa Mii, all used 18 times in ranked, 0 tracks left to see. Nice to see 2 Mii Suits there, pretty close to the top of the list. You have King Mario and Wiggler, used 17 times the rest of year 5. However, Wiggler does have 38 tracks left to see. You can see that maybe getting close to 20. We'll see about that. But the Mii version of him, definitely the most useful in ranked over the rest of the year. And of course, he's got the base points. So you got to go that. If you need a tiebreaker, definitely go in the Wiggler Mii. He's pretty strong as well. You got Yaleen and DK Gladiator, or AKA Spartacon. Both of them used 16 times with a little plus action going on there with 38 for Yaleen and 33 for Spartacon of tracks left to see rest of year 5. You got Gold Charging Chuck, who was seemed like the ranked champion last year. He's used 15 times this year left. You also have White Tanuki Mario 14 times alongside PD Piranha Me, Yellow Misuit, and Morton. So some really cool Misuits. I would say these are like half of these lists are Misuits. And so if you have not invested in these Miis, it's never too late. That will be hopefully the saying between all the sayings that I've had, that hopefully that is the one that sticks, which is never too late to invest in Miis. Never, never, never. And this list shows you exactly why. You do have the Larry Mee Racing Suit 13 times, and then also Daisy Tie Dress 12 times. We'll say for what it's worth, Morton has 17 tracks up to see, and Larry has 13. Both two fun Mii suits to use this year. Antoine, anything you want to mention here?
Just that purple number, that's not the total number of tracks left to see, but that's the number of tracks that are going to be in ranked left to see. So actually like a pretty good chance for some of those ones with, like DK Gladiator or Wiggler, to pick up some more ranked tracks.
All right, good to know. Let's go to Kart's rest of year 5, ranked only. We're talking blooper shuttle. Jumbo jetter, but looking very similar. My bad. And by the way, on the last slide, we narrowed it down to just plus skills. So there might be some drivers that are used more, but they are not plus skills. So just be aware of that. And for this list, these are all above the minimum viable hitbox, large and above. So just be aware of that. There might be carts that are used more, maybe the Cheer Mellow, who knows. But we're not counting them on this list. It's just the large carts and above. So with that said, Jumbo Jetter, 20 times, still 11 tracks up to see. The Red Comet, 18 times with 17 tracks up to see. The Blue Crawley Cart, 18 times, 3 tracks up to see. The Swift Talon, Taylor Swift, 17 times, no tracks up to see. Chain Chomp Chariot, 17 times, 33 tracks up to see, which is a pretty decent one. And that's tied with the Gold Pipes, which is used 17 times, as I mentioned, but 38 tracks up to see, a little bit more. And that's kind of like really the cream of the crop. You also have a number of Eagles and Armored Riders and Showed Speedsters and Off-Roaders here. Really everything on this list. I mean, I'm looking here. I mean, there are, I would probably, what's the Yawleen cart that's...
the Desert Rose.
Desert Rose is probably the only one I wouldn't recommend investing in. Maybe the B-Dasher Mark IIs, but like everything else on this list, I would highly recommend investing in. I think these are some of the strongest carts in the game. We have Armored Rider 16 times alongside the Blazing Eagle and Silver Cupid's Arrow. 15 times for the Black Shield Speedster. 14 for the Mumu Off-Roader and the Silver Warrior Wagon. 13 times for the Gold Cupid's Arrow, this Desert Rose, and the pipe cart. I'm trying to remember this. Pipe.
Which one? The gold one or the prime?
The pipe one. Oh, I'm forgetting the name. I'm already checked out, as you can see. We have the 3 B-Dasher Mark IIs used 12 times. The Sky Blue, the Metal, and the Cream. You also have the Silver Flower Cart 12 times. And then a sneaky one here. This Dolphin Drifter. Used 12 times and still has 62 tracks left to see, which is phenomenal. So, again, I kind of mentioned this a couple tours ago. He's kind of my sneaky pick for year 5. 62 tracks, that should bump him up to pretty close to maybe 16, 17. I could see easily. Maybe even more than that, but I really like it. Nintendo seems to like it too. It's one of the newest. It's obviously the newest one on this list. So if you want to invest in one last thing to ride the wave, why not do it with a Dolphin Drifter? Anything you want to mention here, Antolev?
Yeah, no, I was going to mention that, but you're talking about the Piranha Pipes.
Piranha Pipes. That's right. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, don't interrupt.
All right, let's move to gliders then. Rest of year 5, ranked only. We have the 2 gems here at the top, Wonderful Garnet and the Wonderful Diamond, used 24 and 23 times respectively. You do have the Yellow Hard Hat and the Fuzzy Kite, 22 times for both of those. The Red Checkered Glider, 21 times. 8-Bit Super, used 21 times. The alongside the red checkered, same number, but 17 tracks left to see for this red checkered. The gold 8-bit Super Glider 20 times alongside the 8-bit block, gold Smiley Flower, and the golden glider. Then, of course, everyone's favorite, the 8-bit One-Up Mushroom. It says 10 times. I think it means 18. My apologies. The Mario Hat Balloon, the Gold Hard Hat, and the Red Emblem all used 18 times as well. You have the Festive Holly and the Bright Ribbon used 17 times. The origami, I want to say white wave. Sakura origami glider alongside the Fire Manta, Calico Beam balloons, and the Rainbow Flappy Wings, all 16 times. I will say, for what it's worth, this Rainbow Flappy, 33 tracks left to see. That concludes our ranked usage. Anything you want to add there, Antilev, before we get to all cup ranking?
Surprised Green Emblem isn't on here. I wonder what the number is for Green Emblem, because it got a nice ranked buff this tour. It's been pretty handy recently. But other than that, no. I mean, this list isn't changing that much. We know these gliders, except for maybe that Bright Ribbon, which is a bit of a strange one. The rest are kind of...
That's true.
These are all pretty meta gliders,
You know what? I don't like ribbons, but I will say that Bright Ribbon is probably the third worst of all the ribbons. Like at least the color looks cool. At least it's got that gold for him, which is nice. Nap says, definitely gonna miss this series. Been watching for 2 years. Yeah, I love you, Matt. Nap. Hopefully things are going well in the DR. Cool. Let's get to All Cup ranking usage for year 5. So these are all the items that will be in All Cup ranking. So of course, in All Cup ranking, you have all these cups. I think 12 cups times 3. You're talking about a lot. I'm sorry, not 12 cups. What's up to now? 16 cups.
15 cups.
And 3 tracks each. So these numbers are substantially higher than the ranked numbers. But again, as we talked about, all rest of year 5. So these are the items. If you're going for All Cup ranking, these investments will pay off for you. And of course,
this is including battle tracks, right? So
they are including, and also cup boosts.
Yes.
So be aware of that. And at the top of the list, no surprise here, guys. Gold me suit. 140 times. That is insane. Substantial.
A lot of that is me boosts on battle tracks, though, I think.
Me boosts and some of those being battle tracks, which is, again, I think if you're going to get any type of me boost, you want a battle track, because if you're not using Coinbox, like if you're going into, let's say, the battle track 1 and you're trying to use Morton, you're trying to use, some of these. They're tough, man. Even Morton is tough to get to those 200 actions or the well fought. But Coinbox, dude, it's a slam dunk. So you're definitely hoping for that. Probably the biggest bang for your buck when it comes to cup boosts. You do have Toad Tourist. 24 tracks less at 116. You have the yellow Me Racing suit, also not too far off, but it's the second best Me suit, 112. The light blue Shy Guy Explorer, 110. And that is tied with the Santa Me Racing suit. So again, more reason to invest in him. He's the third best Me suit in All Cup ranking rest of year. Game year, not calendar year. You do have the Question Block Head, 108, which is pretty good for him. I think he's been kind of forgotten about since he was neck and neck with gold last summer. You have the Larry Me Racing suit, 108. Toad, Not a Turdist, 105. You got Chef Rosalina, 104, alongside Petey Piranha. You have Daisy Tie Dress, 103, alongside Silver Me Suit. And then King Mario, 102. Petey Piranha, 101. Larry Wintertime, 100. Then we're breaking just double digits here. That's Morton at 99. Luigi Knight at 98, alongside Wiggler Me Racing Suit. So Wiggler Me, as we talked about, did really, really well and ranked. It's still pretty high on this list, and it still has 142 tracks left to see. So my guess is it will definitely break 100. Could probably get pretty close to 110 for All Cup ranking rest of year with the 142 tracks left to see. So that's a lot of tracks left to see, and for All Cup ranking, it's pretty easy to rack them up. You're not waiting on the random ranked lottery ticket that that we just talked about. So he could be really, really good. He's my next Misu to take to quad, and he's going to be pretty good the rest of the year. You have Pucci, 95 times, 43 tracks left to see, and then White Suzuki Mario, 93, 0 tracks left to see. Anything you want to mention about All Cup ranking drivers?
No, I think that's it. I will mention there are a couple of tracks we are not going to see anymore, but I think they might all be cities, so might not even have an impact here. I mean, you know what Misu's to invest in now. Just look at this, and those are the ones prioritized. Basically, I would say in order from top to bottom.
I'm with you, man. What's going on, Jerry? How are you doing, sir? Good. Let's get to karts. Of course, the top of the list, Blazing Eagle, 97 times, and that is tied with the blue Crawley kart, which still has 19 tracks left to see. So we might even see one or two more to take that blue Crawley up to the most useful kart in rest of year. We do have the Piranha Pipes, 92 times. The Pink Comet, one of my personal favorite. I've taken this to 8 quad. Absolutely love it. And it's still getting some really good action with 78 tracks left to see, which is crazy. 88 total so far in All Cup ranking. Got the Strawberry Soft Swerve 87 times. The Red Off-Roader 87 times. Not a big ranked usage for the Red Off-Roader, but really good in All Cup ranking. Then another sneaky one, the Purple Dozer, also 87 times in All Cup ranking rest of game year. We have the Cream B-Dasher Mark II. These B-Dashers have climbed up, man. It's pretty interesting to see. 86 times for the Cream B-Dasher Mark II. We'll see if it drops off after this tour. We have the Red Comet, 86 times, with still 78 tracks left to see. The Silver Warrior Wagon, we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier. It's got 85 tracks in All Cup ranking rest of year, and still 96 tracks left to see, which is tied. That is one of the top, second highest, alongside only behind the Gold Boo Pipes. We have the Cact B, 85 times. The Sweet Ride, 84 times. Taylor Swift, 84 times as well. Jumbo Jetter, 82 times. This Gold Shield Speedster, 82 times with 96 tracks left to see. It is the highest of all 3 speeders. Good to know about that. And then you have the Gold Pipes, 142 times. It is nice to see 2 pipes on here, and none of the not the Boo Pipes though. I think that's one of the karts that a lot of people were expecting to be very good. Looks like Gold and Piranha Pipes seem to be better for All Cup ranking. You have the Pink B-Dasher Mark II, 81, tied with the Gold Cupid's Arrow, which still has 87 tracks left to see. Moo Off-Roader, 80 tracks left to see, alongside the Silver Cupid's Arrow, 80 tracks left to see also. But that one has 87 tracks left to see. So we could see a couple of these jump up. There's a lot more karts that have tracks left to see. We could see, Silver Cupid's Arrow or Silver Warrior Wagon or, Pink Comet, get a good number of tracks left to see and get those All Cup ranking boosts. Maybe even one of them, maybe even Pink Comet could even break 100. We'll see. Anything you want to add here, Antolev, as we wind down?
No, I think we should go to the next slide and look at the best glider for the rest of the way.
Oh
Drum
boy,
roll, please.
Oh boy. Yes, that's right. It's the Eating Crow Fuzzy Kite. Yes, I am Eating Crow. I was not a big fan of this one. It pans out I was wrong. And so that's a good way to wrap up the rundown with draw some attention to the fuzzy of all fuzzy kites. We do have the Luigi hat balloon, 110 times, which actually I think that's higher. I think it's also 115. My apologies here. Yellow hard hat, 115. So all 3 of those 115. So it's technically tied, Antolev. So it's not the best. It's tied for the best. For what it's worth.
Yeah, but the fuzzy kite is all the way on the left, so that obviously means
it is all the way on the left. I think Alberto did that specifically as a nice
to annoy
thing.
you. Yeah,
yes.
He probably did.
Yes, he did. There's no doubt, and I applaud him for doing this. So, Smiley Flower Glider, 108 times, 43 tracks left to see. Mario Hat Balloon, 107, alongside the White Waves Origami Glider, which, by the way, super sneaky. That was a terrible glider to start. So glad that it looks awesome.
Yeah, it was an old city glider, wasn't it?
It was an old city glider. Here's the thing: it looks awesome. I love those waves.
Those look good.
Reminds me of that one Japanese painting. So cool. Maybe it's Chinese. I think it's Japanese though.
That was Japanese.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Fire Minutes 105. The Wonderful Garnet 104. The 8-Bit 1-Up Mushroom 103. The 2023 Glider, pretty crazy, 102 times Rest of Year 5.
That existed. And here's a question: are we gonna get that one again? Because that's gonna be kind of depressing.
Dude, I think we are. I think we'll have the 2023 Glider in 2024. I don't see them switching that around. It's definitely not going to be a new glider. So that would be cool. Kind of cool if they went back and gave us like the 2020 glider or something, which I do not have.
Yeah, or maybe like all of them, put them all on discount or something.
Ooh. Hey, Nintendo, if you're listening to this, thank you, by the way.
Kite,
and then give us
Gold
this. Give us a terrible glider for a commemorative item. That's what we really wanted. We have the Black Starship, which is an awesome glider. I have this one quad capped. 102 tracks in All Cup ranking. You got the Festive Holly, 101. The Gold Hard Hat, 101 as well. Silver Candlelight Flight, 100. Silver Luigi's Mustache, 99. Pink Magnifying Glass, 98. Alongside the Rainbow Fair Flyer, and then the 8-Bit Super Glider 97, alongside the Yoshi's Cookies and the Secret Scroll. So there you go, Antilev. We have concluded the final rundown. What'd you think, man?
Oh man, it's been a blast. It's been a pleasure and an honor. I should have prepared a speech, but no. I think it's been great. I think this was a good episode. This is a good way to end it, don't you think so?
Yeah. Hey man, it's kind of like one of those things where you got nothing to lose. You're just kind of a little over the top. I definitely took it probably a little too far, but that's okay. I can do that. There's what are you gonna do? Kick me off YouTube? You know, like what's the worst that can happen? So, no, I appreciate you, man. You can always make a speech for the awards ceremony again coming up December 31st at 10 a.m. That's New Year's Eve day at 10 a.m. Eastern. That might be a different time based on your time zone, but absolutely love you guys. It's been a wonderful experience doing the rundown with you guys. I wish you the absolute best. Hopefully this information helps you as you go forward. Definitely check out like Larry98 and all these other resources that'll help you out going forward. And then I'll give a shout out to anyone who's in the chat. So if you're in the chat right now, this is your moment. I see Alexa V and the Tenjas out there. Draco655. You guys are riding us out here at the very end. Danny Escalante. I see Turtles. I see Ross Iasaconis. I see Thoko, Johnson Yang, and Breeden, and the G Seagull. Chat about Rita's out there. Well, thank you guys so much. I love you all. Until forever, may the frenzy luck be with you. I'll see you later. Merry Christmas and happy